Welcome to Mindful Objective, the podcast that brings clarity to chronic health issues and equips you with the integrative tools designed for real, lasting transformation. I'm your host, Dr. Daniel Sproul, integrative health practitioner and professor, and today we're tackling one of the most frustrating and widespread symptoms people experience. This one is really common: bloating. You eat clean, you take care of yourself, but your stomach keeps blowing up like a balloon. In this episode, we'll break down the top 5 root causes of bloating, some of which your doctor may have never mentioned to you. If you're tired of guessing, frustrated with inconsistent relief, or just want to understand your body better, this one is for you. As always, this show's for educational purposes only. We do not diagnose, treat, or cure any illness or disease. So let's get into it. So let's kick off this episode with the most common unappreciated reason for chronic bloating: dysbiosis. This is an imbalance between beneficial, neutral, and potentially harmful organisms that reside in your digestive tract. These organisms include bacteria, fungi, viruses, and also some parasites. When they're in balance, digestion tends to flow more smoothly. When they're not, symptoms like bloating, sluggishness, and inflammation often appear. And this happens to quite a lot of people. A lot of people I know, I've been through this millions of times, still go from time to time. So it's real one that hits home, even for myself. Your gut is home to trillions of microbes, collectively known as the gut microbiome. And this ecosystem influences digestion, immune regulation, vitamin synthesis such as B12, K2, inflammation, mood, and even hormone balance. A disrupted microbiome can have wide-reaching effects across many parts of your body. When the wrong types of microbes dominate, or when beneficial microbes are too low, food may not digest efficiently. Fermentation of carbohydrates and fibers can happen in the wrong place or too early, leading to production of gas, hydrogen, methane, hydrogen sulfide, that becomes trapped and causes distension and discomfort. It's not a good feeling. People with dysbiosis may report progressive bloating throughout the day, regular bowel habits, excess gas, sugar cravings, skin irritation, brain fog, even mild joint discomfort. Possible contributors can be past antibiotic use, diets high in processed foods, chronic stress, low intake of fiber, food poisoning or infections, environmental toxins, long-term acid-reducing medications. Are you on a lot of PPIs? To explore these issues in greater detail, some individuals choose functional lab testing. This offers better insights not typically available through conventional tests, conventional meaning your medical doctor. 2 options commonly used in our practice is a GI map, which is a stool test. This uses DNA analysis to evaluate bacteria, yeast, and also digestive markers. GI effects, this is a broader panel that provides insight into digestion, absorption, inflammation, and short-chain fatty acid production. These tests may help uncover microbiome balances, digestive patterns that are worth exploring. Based on those findings, we may recommend a personalized protocol, which could include herbal support for microbiome balance, targeted probiotic or prebiotic formulas, digestive enzymes, nutrients that help soothe and restore gut lining, such as L-glutamine or zinc carnosine. Another one we'll often do is a food plan adjustments to reduce common irritants and support microbiome diversity. So unlike conventional medicine, which often focuses on the symptom suppression, functional strategies aim to support the body's natural balance and function. Dysbiosis may not always appear on standard lab work, which is why a comprehensive stool analysis is often used when symptoms persist without clear answers. If you've been experiencing chronic bloating without relief, you may benefit from exploring these functional tools. Everyone's gut microbiome is unique, and with the right support, many individuals find meaningful improvements in their digestive comfort and energy. Let's talk about something that completely flips the script for most people: low stomach acid. This is hypochlorhydria. It's a frequently overlooked contributor to bloating, especially the type that occurs shortly after meals, but it's often mistaken for the opposite problem. That's because the symptom of low stomach acid can resemble those of acid reflux, leading many individuals to be prescribed acid-suppressing medications, those PPIs. They may actually worsen their digestion over time. Your stomach is designed to be highly acidic, right? Hydrochloric acid, HCl, that plays a vital role in breaking down proteins, absorbing nutrients like iron and B12, and stimulating bile and pancreatic enzyme release. When acid levels are low, food may not fully break down. Instead, it sits longer in the stomach, producing gas and pressure that leads to upper GI bloating, belching, and lingering sense of fullness, even after modest meals. Some signs may include bloating shortly after eating, burping or hiccups after meals, feeling full for hours after eating, heartburn that's persistent despite antacids, undigested food particles in stool, weak nails or thinning hair, fatigue after protein-rich meals, low ferritin or persistent iron deficiencies. Aging is one possible factor. By age 50, acid production can drop significantly. But other contributors include chronic stress, eating too quickly, nutrient deficiencies, especially zinc and B vitamins, and extended use of acid-reducing medications. And a lot of doctors have a lot of people on many acid-reducing medications without even checking stomach acid. They happen to say all the time, hey, you haven't belching or anything, that's high stomach acid, when in reality, it may be low stomach acid. But to explore this further, functional lab testing may offer helpful clues. For example, the one we always talk on is the organic acid test. This may show markers of protein fermentation or nutrient imbalances. A stool panel like GI map or GI effects may reflect digestive enzyme insufficiencies, pH imbalances, or the presence of microbiome overgrowths that thrive in low acid environments. If low stomach acid is suspected, there are several supportive strategies that may be considered under professional guidance. Digestive bitters is one. These are plant-based extracts that encourage natural secretion of acid and enzymes. Apple cider vinegar, this is a popular one. It's a gentle pre-meal tonic, some used to support stomach acidity. Beta-HCI supplements, these may help support acid levels when used with protein-containing meals. Another one, zinc, B12, and folate. These are nutrients often involved in acid production and general stomach function. And finally, mindful eating habits. When you eat, slow down, chew thoroughly. You want to activate your parasympathetic nervous system before eating. This will enhance your digestive naturally. So you want to support healthy stomach acid production. This can improve things downstream, right? That digestion, this will help your pancreas, gallbladder, and small intestine work more efficiently. When this process is compromised, it can set the stage for other gut issues, including microbiome imbalance and food reactivity. So addressing low stomach acid, again, is not a quick fix, nor is it chasing the symptoms. It's about supporting your body's natural digestive rhythm so that food can be broken down efficiently and nutrients can be properly absorbed. If you constantly feel bloated after eating, especially high-protein meals, or if your digestion feels sluggish, exploring stomach acid levels through functional testing can be what your body needs. If you are dealing with that bloating that worsens as the day progresses, especially after meals, and nothing seems to help, one potential contributor it could be is SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. SIBO is frequently undiagnosed and often mistaken for IBS, but it's a distinct condition involving bacterial imbalances in the small intestine. So here's how it works. While the large intestine is home to trillions of bacteria that assist with fiber breakdown and vitamin production, the small intestine is meant to remain relatively low in bacteria. It's a primary site for nutrient absorption, and when bacteria from the colon begins to colonize in the small intestine, they ferment carbohydrates too early. This fermentation process produces gas, hydrogen, methane, and hydrogen sulfide, leading to common symptoms such as visible bloated belly by the evening, cramping or discomfort after meals, excessive gas or belching, regular bowel movements, appetite changes, fatigue, and even brain fog. Because SIBO symptoms overlap with dysbiosis, food intolerances, and IBS, testing can help narrow it down to understand what actually is going on. Elevated hydrogen or methane gas may suggest the presence of bacterial overgrowth in the small intestine. These are generally three types of SIBO. Hydrogen dominant, this is often associated with diarrhea or urgency to go. Methane dominant or IMO, this is usually linked to constipation and slow motility. Hydrogen sulfide SIBO, this can produce sulfur-like symptoms and odor along with bloating. SIBO may arise with a variety of different triggers. Prior food poisoning or GI infections, surgeries or adhesions that impair motility, long-term use of acid-suppressing medications, hormone shifts, thyroid disorders, and also autoimmune issues. Chronic constipation or high stress levels. A functional approach we take is a multi-layered strategy. So microbiome support protocols, these are usually herbal ingredients like berberine, oregano oil, and neem. These are sometimes used in supportive strategies aimed at reducing bacterial overgrowth. Then we have motility support. Compounds such as ginger, bitters, and protokinetics are used to help encourage regular digestive movement. Then we have nutritional shifts. Maybe that low FODMAP diet or SIBO specific food plans. This may temporarily reduce fermentable carbohydrate intake while other support is put in place. Then gut lining and microbiome care. Some individuals may support from probiotics when used cautiously, digestive enzymes and compounds like L-glutamine, slippery elm or marshmallow root to support mucosal health. Additional functional lab tests can provide context. GI map or that GI effects may reveal enzyme levels, inflammation, and microbiome imbalances. Organic acid test, this can highlight fermentation markers or nutrient depletion. Thyroid and adrenal panels, these may uncover systematic contributors to poor motility. SIBO is complex, can be very complex, and may return if root contributors like stress, slow motility, or diet aren't addressed. It's not an easy fix. That's why working with a knowledgeable practitioner can tailor lab interpretations and protocols to your unique physiology. This is very essential, right? Each person's different. So just, again, what works for one may not work for the other. It's a slow process, but we're here to help. If you experience that persistent bloating, increasing discomfort throughout the day, or symptoms that haven't resolved despite probiotics or gut-friendly foods, SIBO might be worth exploring. We're on to number 4. Bloating isn't always caused by bacterial digestive enzymes. Sometimes the discomfort is rooted in how your immune system reacts to certain foods. This is a common one we touched on many times. One potential contributor to unexplained bloating is food sensitivities, which differ significantly from food allergies. So let's clarify the distinction because I think a lot of people still get this confused. Food allergies are immediate. Immune responses mediated by IgE, as in Edward, IgE, antibodies. They can trigger reactions such as hives, throat swelling, or anaphylaxis. In contrast, food sensitivities often involve IgG antibodies. I say that slow so people don't confuse the two. IgE is food allergy. IgG is the antibodies. So in contrast, food sensitivities often involve IgG antibodies and take hours or can take 3, 4, 5 days before it even produces symptoms. This delay makes them tricky to detect without support. You have the option to do an elimination diet, but who has weeks, months to eliminate foods and know what they eliminated and what they actually took in? You can do that elimination diet, but you have to really strictly keep track of your food and your liquid intake and eliminate based on what you had and what you didn't have, and obviously keep track of that and see how things go later on. But the better solution would be run a food sensitivity test. So you might eat eggs on a Monday, feel bloated on Tuesday without realizing a connection. Or you might eat those eggs on a Monday, you don't feel fully bad until Thursday or Friday. And then you realize, oh man, it was something I ate Monday, but you didn't know that till you eliminated a lot of foods. You might tolerate dairy in small amounts one day. That one time having a cup of coffee with milk in it, you might be okay. But having that 2 days in a row, then you may feel it that day, the next day, or days later. These reactions are often dose dependent. Again, trying 1, 2, 3 days, but they build up quietly over time. How food sensitivities contribute to bloating often traces back to the gut lining. Your intestinal barrier is designed to allow nutrients to pass through while keeping larger, potentially reactive particles out. When this lining becomes overporous, a condition sometimes referred to as increased intestinal permeability, or popular name is leaky gut, partially digested food particles may enter the bloodstream. This can trigger low-grade immune reactions. Common food triggers we see is gluten. This could be wheat, barley, rye, dairy. This could be casein, whey, lactose, eggs, corn or soy, yeast, legumes like peanuts or lentils, like tomatoes, potatoes, peppers. High FODMAP foods, onions, garlic, apples. What complicates this picture further is many of these are considered healthy foods. Yet for someone experiencing immune reactivity, even kale or avocado could cause symptoms. And I am one of those people. I seem to have a reactivity to everything. Same for my daughters too. Same kind of issue. It's something healthy for one is not healthy for the other. We found that with apples, with some with blueberries, especially with those tomatoes, if you have high histamine out there, potatoes, peppers, onions, garlic, apples. Who would think an apple's going to cause an issue? But apple cause a lot of issue for a lot of people. Food sensitivity symptoms may include bloating, gas or digestive discomfort, constipation or loose stools, brain fog or mood swings, fatigue, skin flare ups, rashes, sinus congestion, even joint stiffness. But how many of these symptoms overlap with the other three things we discussed already? Dysbiosis, SIBO, all those. But it overlaps with other things that are out there too, such as certain thyroid issues, such as just general digestion issues. Like a lot of these overlap. That's why it's very important to functional lab test. To explore these immune responses at Mindful Objective, we use functional lab testing. These tests don't diagnose the disease, but it may provide insight to how your body reacts to certain foods. IgG Food Map, this is a blood test used here at Mindful Objective to explore immune reactivity to over 190 foods and also yeast strain. Another MRT, this is mediator release test, assesses the release of inflammatory mediators like histamine or cytokines in response to foods and chemicals. It's broader in scope and may be useful in complex cases. If significant reactivities are observed, individuals may follow a short-term elimination protocol, typically lasting 4 to 6 weeks, to assess whether removing certain foods lead to symptom improvement. During this period, emphasis is placed on eating low-reactive foods while supporting the gut lining. And a lot of times when we run food sensitivity tests, people are very shocked at what they're reactive to, even if they haven't ate it before or if they eat it often. A lot of times you see that and you know what? I'm glad I ran this test. Now I understand what I'm looking at. I see it. So now I know to eliminate these things. And after a few weeks, like we say always 4 to 6 weeks, could be 8 weeks, 12 weeks, based on your reactivity, but you eliminate these foods, see if you feel better. Or you eat the foods low on the reactivity list. You eat those, eliminate the high or medium high ones, and see how things go. A lot of times it improves digestion. You start to feel better, less bloating, or just energy comes back. Also commonly used nutrients to support gut health may include L-glutamine. This may help fuel intestinal cells. Zinc, used in some protocols to support mucosal integrity. Quercetin may help calm immune activity. DGL licorice, aloe vera, another one would be marshmallow root. These are often used to promote digestive comfort. Once inflammation is suspected to be reduced, foods are gradually reintroduced, one at a time. We want to monitor for any returning of symptoms. The end goal isn't lifelong restriction, but to build resilience so you can enjoy food again. Food sensitivities may be linked to deeper gut imbalances like dysbiosis, SIBO, or intestinal permeability. That's why these stool panels and organic acid tests are often used alongside food sensitivity testing to help complete the picture. And I would say 99% of the times when we run a food sensitivity test, we always would like to run organic acid test. Let's see what you have a reactivity to and what you do not. And let's also see how your body's digesting the different food, where you are deficient in nutrients, and go from there. It works hand in hand. Organic acid test and a food sensitivity test. If there's 2 tests out there, I would have you run right away. It'd be those 2 outside of running hormones and that kind of lab work. It would be food sensitivity test and an organic acid test. So if you're eating clean but still experiencing bloating, fatigue, or brain fog, your body may be reacting to something on your plate. Functional tests help provide helpful insights into potential food triggers. And we ran and did an episode on here. We talked to Geraldo, and he was shocked to see what he learned. But changing in that diet goes a long way. It changes how you feel and who you are. It's amazing, that test. We covered bacteria, enzymes, and also food sensitivities. But there's one other major reason people feel bloated all the time: sluggish digestion. This is often tied to that gut motility. Motility refers to rhythmic muscle contractions that move food through your digestive tract. In the small intestine, this motion is driven by the migrating motor complex, MMC, which works primarily between meals. What's its job? To clear out bacteria, food particles, and waste, keeping your gut clean and your digestion efficient. When this wave-like movement slows down due to stress, illness, or hormonal shifts, digestion becomes delayed. Food sits too long in the gut, fermentation begins where it shouldn't, and gas builds up. This can leave you feeling bloated, heavy, even distended, even if you didn't overeat. Common signs of slow motility would be bloating that worsens as the day progresses, nausea in the morning or after meals, feeling overly full even after small meals, constipation or incomplete bowel movements, bad breath or a coated tongue, fatigue or lack of appetite. Motility can be impacted by many factors. One could be a thyroid function. Low thyroid hormones may slow overall metabolism, and this will include digestion. Chronic stress or trauma. The vagus nerve, which helps regulate digestion, can become underactive in times of prolonged emotional stress or nervous system dysregulation. Another one would be electrolyte imbalances. Minerals like magnesium, potassium, and sodium support muscular contractions, including those in the gut. That's why we always say, take your electrolytes. Another one would be infections. Post-infectious IBS or past food poisoning may disrupt normal nerve signaling in the intestines. Also, bile flow issues. Without adequate bile, fat digestion slows and stools can become sticky or pale, delaying overall transit time. Wondering if poor motility is affecting you? Watch for symptoms like long gaps between meals without hunger, bloating after meals, or fewer than one complete bowel movements per day. From a functional testing perspective, we use that GI map and GI effect stool test. This may offer insight into digestive enzyme levels, microbiome patterns, and short-chain fatty acid balance. The organic acid test, this may show patterns related to bacterial overgrowth, neurotransmitter precursors, and impaired detoxification. Thyroid panel, including free T3 and reverse T3, this can provide context of your metabolic function. Supportive strategies we usually take here from motility is stimulating that vagus nerve. Activities like gargling, cold exposure, deep breathing, or humming may help regulate nervous system signals in the gut. Magnesium, forms like citrate or glycinate are commonly used to support regularity and relaxation of the digestive tract. Bitter herbs, ingredients such as gentian, dandelion, and artichoke leaf are traditionally used to stimulate bile flow and digestive secretion. Prokinetic support, this may include ginger, 5-HTP, or professional formulas out there. In some cases, you may need to follow up with a medical provider to get on certain medications. Again, we work hand in hand with medical providers. It's not use us or use them. We work in conjunction. Meal spacing. So leave between 3 to 5 hours between meals. This may allow your MMC to function more efficiently. Slow down. Thyroid and adrenal considerations. Those would be nutrients like selenium, B vitamins, and zinc. These all play supportive roles when included in personalized wellness plan. Poor motility doesn't lead to just bloating. It may contribute to other challenges like dysbiosis, nutrient malabsorption, or even SIBO. That's why strategies focused on balance and rhythm often go further than symptom management alone. If your digestion feels stuck or sluggish, and your bloating worsens as the day progresses, motility may be the missing piece. How often do you hear that? That's what we bring here, education to these different topics. But you want to explore digestive patterns, right? Testing options. And you want those supportive strategies that could provide more clarity. To wrap up this episode, let's be clear. Bloating is a symptom. It's not a diagnosis. If your belly feels swollen, tight, or uncomfortable most days, it's time to stop masking symptoms and start asking better questions. From dysbiosis to SIBO to food sensitivities, poor stomach acid, or even sluggish digestion, there's a reason behind that bloat. At Mindful Objective, we offer functional lab testing to uncover the root causes behind chronic bloating, personalized protocols to restore healthy digestion, microbiome balance, and motility, digestive support kits designed to support gut healing without the guesswork. Is that a heavy metal detox? Is that a functional medicine detox? Is it a lab test? Is it a specific supplement? We are here to help. So whether you've been dismissed with the label IBS or told your labs are normal, you know there's something off and you need deeper answers. And that's what we're here for. If this episode resonated with you, send it to a friend or loved one who's been silently suffering. And visit mindfulobjective.com to explore how we can help you uncover what your gut's trying to tell you. Reminder, this podcast for educational purposes only and does not diagnose, treat, or cure any illness or disease. Always consult your licensed healthcare provider before making health decisions. Thanks again for tuning in. Stay curious, stay grounded, and stay well.